Lemon mademwe, ki place so titifi. Premier bagay mwe kawe pon se mwe se just simply see. Then they ask, nah, what ends you reppin'? What's your postcode? I exhale, and with a sunshine smile, I simply reply that I do not rep ends or a postcode. I represent an island, a place that I call home. If you're asking me for my area code, it's 758. If you're asking me the precise geographical location of where I'm from, I'll tell you that my home lies amid the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. 238 square miles of picturesque scenery. She is known as the Helen of the West Indies and shapes every atom of my identity.
So this piece, I want you to imagine, if you've ever been to London, if you've ever been to a cold country, imagine you're there and you're missing home and you're missing your culture and you're missing everything. So this piece is called Renaissance. I recently met Renaissance in today's 21st century. Yes, she's black, Caribbean in fact. And I guess even with the feminine pronoun, the patriarchal manacles of your mind may force you to dismiss it and turn a blind, I need to reiterate that yes, she is a woman. I met her on the ground in the basement party. She showed me how she liked to get down and party. She had her kinks loose, free strands untied, her head, neck elongated, divine. She swayed to the beat, a real groovy vibe. She was sultry. And even though she seemed to be a woman about town, her virtue, what struck me was that she knew her body. She was sexy. She had dressed those curves like iced-up peaks, the wet of her clothes succumbing to the heat, which rose to her hips and her waist from her feet. Dot to dot eyes connected to the motion of her hips, her island heat had channeled up her steam. A dewy mist which glistened on my skin as I brushed past her. A dewy mist which glistened on my skin as I brushed past her. Sugary sweet. I knew this was going to happen. Click for me, click for me, click for me. As I brushed past her. Cane, sugary, sweet, intoxicating me as I watched her sway, chipping her feet to her own beat. Renaissance had me. Like the mystery of Bermuda, she had sucked me in and lyrically enticed the blood rushing under my skin. I wanted to move to her rhythm like synchronized swimming, to drown my senses in the rhythmic waves ushered forth by her from the seas of the Caribbean. Indeed, she was all woman. Forgive my intrigue, but I wanted to know her. I had never been enticed by a woman. I wanted to visit the very source from which she'd sprung and learn about her ties to the motherland. She moved like a cultural quake, ready to shake colonial grounds. Her waistline ready to seize reparation and cling right to her throne as the reigning monarch. She was an original dancehall queen indeed. For it was a jubilee any time she bestowed her wine, enticing the eyes of unknowing minds. She was foreign. Party tricks, exotic teaser, jungle fever, crowd pleaser. Move until 6:30. It was no wonder every man wanted to own her. Intrigued, I endeavored to make conversation. Her accent and dialect was representative of nations. Her sound left me hypnotized, tongue-tied as she spoke of her journey, leaving me mesmerized. Her journey onto Anglo-Saxon land. She spoke on when these travels began. Wind rushed, she made reference to generations past, and how it came to pass that she lived in my neighborhood. Yet here she stood unfamiliar to me. She spoke of her established community, established since the early 1970s, and yet this was the first time I had laid eyes on her in all of her beauty. Renaissance had me enthralled. I walked alongside her home. Her pace alone kept me on my toes. She walked fast, slow, rough, soft, her words and mood affecting her course, all as her body moved to its own rhythm. She had an aura which glowed ablaze against the frost of the night sky. Unashamed, I can honestly say that Renaissance had me high, eyes shut, mind 4,000 plus miles away to her. Dreaming of starry night skies, cool breeze, and a strumming of captivating melodies, she invited me in. and offered me some Creole broth and Indian curry. Woman of the world, her skills amazed me. She was a single lady entertained by the thoughts of the men that believed they owned. She wanted to remain free. I was so perplexed. I questioned why she had left her warmth for cold concrete struggle. She said she had wanted to move upstream, get a mainstream gig, that she had wanted to develop and spread her wings. She said that she was showbiz and that the world had to know her name. Her name. That's when it came to me that I called her Renaissance, but really, who was she? This beauty with a slow whine and a sweet smile. I saw the Caribbean Sea in the depths of her eyes, name trickling off her tongue. Melodically, she sung, "You can call me Soca." And that was Renaissance. So my lady was Soca, if you missed it. What am I going to do next? I'm literally thinking on the spot, what am I going to do? So last time I was here last year for Piff. Yay! Thank you for having me. Yay! And one of the things it did for me was to really kind of make me aware of my potential and what I'm capable of. And at the time, I was staying here at Blue, and I kept having these reoccurring dreams. So it was not just started here, but it started previously. And I kept having these reoccurring dreams of like a tsunami coming at me. Now I'm scared of the water. That's my, used to be my biggest fear. I'm scared of the ocean, right? And so sometimes there was one day I woke up in like full of tears, and I was like, why am I? Because I was literally scared and the tsunami's coming for me. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I looked up what dreaming of tsunamis and waves and water and all of that means. And it was basically about facing your greatness. That's how I interpreted it anyway. Facing my greatness and kind of diving in. And so I realized I had to dive in. And I'm thinking about that and water, and I'm obsessed with water. And The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite. That's probably where my fear came from, you know. Anyway, so it's true. Anyway, so I wrote this piece called Flow. It's also in celebration of the Float Vortex that I'm part of with Flo Tree and Natalie Stewart and stuff. So it's called Flow. Today, in a revelation of the correlation of my conditioned love for Disney and my fear of the deep blue sea, I realigned my vision to see beyond pocketed purchase dreams and delved into the depths of me. Notice how Walt knew where all the magic lies. Walt Disney. Notice how he tried to capsulize the magnitude of power the ocean holds. Notice how he morphed our magic into imaginative, illustrious folds of escape. Today, after reflecting upon nights past amid curved walls, waves towering my tenure on this ground, this earth, in recurring tsunami dreams, I have parted seas only for them to rise above and face me. The transformation, the elasticity, these waves address me. Ijoro na bagbe me, they will. Please do not forget me. Ifani mora, please embrace me. And so tonight I listen to the untold stories, the ancestral voices, the echoes, the screams, the mysteries, the tales of passion, the lost loves, the forgotten identities. And I know that Yimea birthed me. It is she who conceived the fluid complexities of my liquid anatomy. And in that lies validation of my fear. Because a mother's wrath is such a potent wave to be near. She has birthed lands and buried them. She has swallowed ships and mystified men. But in knowing that I am of a current, in knowing that she will only take me with a tide to carry me, knowing that she can purge me, that she has mothered genius, nursed insanity, birthed and fed creativity, I feel the euphoria of facing my Ursula. She stands before me regally, 8 tentacles beckoning me, and I wonder why Disney made her the enemy instilled such dread in the character that resembled mother the most. And so tonight, when my eyes meet as streams do and allow my ethereal spirit to float, to seek to permeate unconscious truth, when the tsunami comes, I will dive in and refill and refill and refill my magic. Because we've got to know, to feel the depths we've come from, to be able to live and let go, to live and journey lucidly, to intuitively channel our own voice and still go with the flow. We've got to know. That was flow. Thank you. You're not ready, Val? I think I'll do. You ready? Okay, cool. Let's do Ocean Pride. Why not? I'll finish it. I started it yesterday and I didn't finish it. And since Beijing repping, Botswana's repping, we have Detroit repping, so, it's only right that, we're here. Oh, we have Philly. We have, this is international, baby. All right. Yes. So this is my ode to my beautiful island where I'm from. Let me madame. Keep place so titifi. Premier bagay make a weapon say. We say just simply see. Then they ask, no. What end you repping? What's your postcode? I exhale. And with a sunshine smile, I simply replied that I do not rep ends or postcode. I represent an island, a place that I call home. If you're asking me for my area code, it's 758. If you're asking me for the precise geographical location of where I'm from, I'll tell you that my home lies amid the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. 238 square miles of picturesque scenery. She is known as the Helen of the West Indies and shapes every atom of my identity. I am from a land where beauty is not loud or overbearing, but simply striking, exquisite, and luminary from within. Though her soils have been trodden over 14 times, they are no less fertile. They are enriched with the seeds of multicultural roots. From Europeans to African slaves, Arawak Indians, and Caribs too. Yet when I cross new lands, I am labeled as foreign fruit because it takes time for others to gain insight as they sit and overlook my culture, my diversity. So I stand tall like the pitons harnessed to a strong sense of national identity. And when I am repeatedly questioned as to why my home is not regarded as the place in which I reside, London, in my justification, I can only reply that home is where the heart lies. I am from a place where knowledge is wealth, a place of prosperity and fidelity, where the warmth of the sun is reflected in my people, yes, them, in their characters and in their skins. See, we have sepia tones through to cocoa brown skins enriched with melanin. I come from a place independent, where toil and hard graft are no secret. Long before 1979, my people have sweat to fertilize soils for their livelihood and to ensure that their families are well kept. I come from an island of balance, where among the hard labor we still find the chance to embrace the sublime around us and enjoy nature at its best. Yet, when the weekend arrives, so it's Vaval time, we still go fete after fete after fete. Let there be no mistake that my people, we know how to have fun. Because when time comes, it's pure and get on and true get on of fashion. Yes, we're a versatile nation with an acute sense of time appropriation. My mommy encouraged me to be world class and showed me that education is the key. So I carry my pride no matter where I go, promoting an awareness of cultural identity. Yes. No matter where I go, everybody knows where I am from. A proud Lucian. This is me. Thank you.